Young and the Restless spoilers December 23rd. Nick forces Matt Clark's hand. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, December 23rd, tease a day that pushes several simmering tensions closer to the surface. Nick decides he's waited long enough and makes a move that forces Matt Clark to respond, while Lily can't ignore what she's seeing between Kane and Phyllis. Elsewhere, Tracy steps in with thoughtful advice for Diane, offering a rare moment of calm amid growing chaos in Genoa City. Nick turns up the pressure on Matt Clark. Nick, Joshua Morrow, is done playing defense. After weeks of maneuvering around Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, he decides it's time to force the issue. Whatever leverage Nick has been holding, he finally puts it to use, making it clear that Matt no longer controls the pace of this standoff. Matt has built his power on intimidation and careful calculation, but Nick's move threatens to disrupt that balance. Being forced to react instead of dictate terms could expose Matt's weaknesses, especially if he's been counting on others to blink first. Nick's decision signals that this storyline is entering a more perilous phase, with real consequences looming for everyone involved. Lily questions Kane and Phyllis's closeness. Lily, Crystal Khalil, can't shake the feeling that something isn't right when it comes to Kane, Billy Flynn, and Phyllis, Michelle Stafford. What she observes between them feels too familiar, and the closeness raises concerns Lily isn't ready to dismiss. Given their complicated histories, even small moments can carry outsized meaning. Lily's discomfort suggests trouble ahead, especially if she decides to confront the situation rather than keep her worries to herself. Her unease adds another layer of tension that could quickly turn personal. Tracy offers Diane a moment of perspective. While the Abbotts are bracing for conflict, Tracy, Beth Maitland, provides a steadier presence. She shares words of wisdom with Diane, Susan Walters, offering insight without judgment. Tracy's approach encourages Diane to see that no matter what happens with Victor, Eric Braeden, and Jack, Peter Bergman, the Abbotts will be okay in the end. In a town fueled by power struggles and long memories, Tracy's grounded perspective stands out. Whether Diane takes that advice to heart remains to be seen, but the conversation may linger longer than Diane expects. As Genoa City moves deeper into the holiday week, Tuesday's episode sets the stage for escalating confrontations and emotional fallout that won't stay contained and the Restless. Shocking spoilers. December 23rd. Nick forces Matt Clark's hand, and Genoa City explodes. Genoa City is in full-on crisis mode this week, and December 23rd stands out as the most explosive turning point yet. With Matt Clark back in town and Beth Newman's loyalties, allegiances, and secrets unraveling faster than anyone can say Newman family drama, The Young and the Restless is delivering one of the most shocking midweek episodes of the year. Soap Central. On Tuesday, December 23rd, everything changes when Nick Newman finally stops tiptoeing around his old nemesis Matt Clark, aka Mitch Bacall, and forces him into a corner. But what that means for Sienna, Noah, Sharon, Lily, Kane, Phyllis, Diane, and even the Abbott family, well, that's where the real shockers are buried. So Pub, let's break down all the jaw-dropping twists, character bombs, rising emotional stakes, and future fallout in Genoa City. 1. Nick Newman is done playing defense. Matt Clark better watch out. For weeks now, Nick has been trying to protect his family, especially after the shocking reappearance of Matt Clark, a man long presumed dead. Matt's return isn't just a creepy ghost from the past situation. It's a full-blown ticking emotional time bomb. Soap Central. Why Nick's move is huge. Nick has always been a strategist. He's never been quick to throw the first punch unless the stakes are life or death. But after rising concerns for Sienna's safety and Noah's recent kidnapping scare, Nick decides he's waited long enough, and he turns the tables on Matt Clark by actively forcing his hand. So Pub, that means no more letting Matt twist the narrative, no more waiting to react. Nick is pushing Matt into a position where he must choose, act now, or risk everything collapsing around him. Whether this will destabilize Matt's plans or backfire, potentially making him even more dangerous, is the heartbeat of Genoa City's latest drama. And make no mistake, Matt Clark is dangerous. He's cruel, cunning, and now backed into a corner. When a villain like that feels threatened, chaos always follows. Wikipedia. 2. Sienna's future hangs in the balance. Noah isn't backing down. Behind the scenes of Nick versus Matt, another shocking subplot is unfolding. Noah Newman, who has already been physically attacked and left unconscious in a park, is now more determined than ever. After regaining consciousness, he reached out to Nick and refused to sit silently while Sienna remains in danger. Celeb, dirty laundry. Noah's defiance is a departure from his usual role as the second banana angst receiver. Instead of being sidelined or the one who gets saved, Noah is clashing with Matt directly, player versus player. And at one point in yesterday's episode, he even called Matt to demand Sienna's release, saying Matt should take him instead. Celeb, dirty laundry. That's not just brave, it's reckless. And reckless against Matt Clark? That's how Genoa City ends up in even deeper trouble. Noah's boldness also plants questions. Does he truly believe he can outmaneuver Matt? Is he pushing Nick into a corner too soon? Could this backfire and put Sienna in even greater peril? Only time or the next episodes will tell. 3. Nick's deal with the devil. What was offered? In a moment that blew fans' minds, Nick didn't just call Matt, he offered him a deal. Yes, a deal. Typically, Nick and Matt aren't even on the same planet morally, let alone negotiating terms. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and Nick apparently believes that giving Matt a reason to play ball might be the only thing protecting Sienna and his loved ones. Celeb, dirty laundry. This is huge because it shows how far Nick has shifted from reactive to proactive and willing to make morally ambiguous decisions to get results. Fans are already speculating. Is Nick offering Matt safety? Is the deal about letting Sienna go? Or is he dangling freedom from legal consequences if Matt backs off? Whatever the terms are, the fact that Nick is willing to broker a deal with Clark signals desperation and sets up massive fallout, no matter how the cards are played. 4. Lily watches Kane and Phyllis too closely, sparks or trouble. While the Newman family wrestles with Matt, over on another corner of Genoa City, romantic drama is erupting beyond anyone's expectations. According to spoilers, Lily Winters is disturbed by the close relationship between Kane Ashby and Phyllis Summers, and she catches them in a moment that looks a whole lot more romantic than businesslike. Celeb, this is not just a little eyebrow raise. Lily and Kane have a history. They were married and have children together, so seeing him cozy up to Phyllis is threatening on a personal level. And Phyllis? She's notorious for inserting herself into relationships and power struggles with maximum chaos. One fan, Recap, even teases them kissing or sharing a steamy moment before Lily catches sight of them. Celeb, dirty laundry. Lily's reaction could become its own storyline, and here's why. This could break Kane and Lily's fragile trust after everything they've endured. Phyllis could leverage this moment to weaponize her new place in Genoa City's social orbit. Things could spiral into corporate rivalry, sibling war, or family breakdowns. Soap fans know how these threads escalate faster than holiday decorations. Fans are already buzzing that this subplot could overshadow even Matt's looming threat if emotions become unhinged. 5. Tracy offers Diane wisdom, a calm in the eye of the storm. Amid kidnapping threats, deals with villains, and romantic explosions, one quiet moment stands out. Tracy Abbott offering heartfelt advice to Diane Jenkins Abbott. So pub. This might seem minor compared to kidnappings and kiss scenes, but in Genoa City, these moments matter. Tracy has often played the role of emotional anchor in the Abbott family, and with tensions high across town, her words are likely meant to ground Diane in the middle of conflict. Diane's story arc has been complicated, torn between family drama, loyalty, and her own personal ambitions. So Tracy's guidance might be a small emotional pivot point, one that could have huge implications for how Diane approaches future trouble. Whether Diane takes that advice or not is yet another question fans can't stop debating. 6. Genoa City fallout. What this means for future episodes. What we're seeing on December 23rd isn't just an isolated shock. It's the catalyst for major story propulsion leading into the rest of the week, and likely beyond. Here's how this could ripple out. Holiday week fallout. Even though Christmas is almost here in Genoa City, the holiday cheer is thin this year. With Matt Clark's threat, Noah's rescue mission, and Nick's high-risk strategy, the Newmans might not make it to Christmas without a bombshell. Soap Central. Matt Clark's future moves. Matt isn't the kind of villain who quietly rolls over. If forced into a corner, he could double down on sinister plans, turn his wrath toward other Newman family members, use emotional leverage against Sharon or Noah. This could make Matt the biggest antagonist Genoa City has faced in years. Lily and Cain, second chances or second heartbreak. The tangled triangle with Phyllis could lead to a new power couple emerges, a messy breakup with long-term consequences, corporate chaos if Phyllis and Cain's connection becomes strategic, not romantic, Diane and Abbott family dynamics. If Diane grows stronger or more conflicted after Tracy's conversation, that could impact future Abbott/Newman alliances, especially as corporate warfare heats up. Final verdict. Week of December 23rd is must-watch TV. Today's spoilers are more than just a preview. They're a turning point for the young and the restless. Between Nick's bold move against Matt Clark, Noah's fierce determination, the explosive Lily Cain Phyllis moment, and Tracy and Diane's emotional heartstrings, Genoa City has never been more tangled, thrilling, and unpredictable. So pub. For fans who thought December stories would just bring seasonal fluff, think again. This is full-force soap opera storytelling, and the next few episodes should be absolutely electric. What do you think will happen next? Will Nick's gamble pay off? Can Sienna be saved? Is Cain truly over Phyllis? Or is this the start of a huge new power news on the young and the restless? Nick turns up the pressure on Matt Clark. Genoa City is officially on edge, and it's all because Nick Newman has finally decided he's done playing defense. In today's shocking Young and the Restless developments, Nick doesn't just confront Matt Clark, he turns up the pressure in a way that could permanently change the balance of power in town. What begins as a calculated warning quickly spirals into a dangerous game of leverage, secrets, and simmering rage that puts multiple lives and reputations at risk. Fans have watched Nick walk a tightrope for weeks, quietly gathering information, testing Matt's weak spots, and waiting for the right moment to strike. That moment has arrived, and when Nick makes his move, it sends shockwaves through the Newman family, rattles Victor's long-standing empire, and leaves Matt Clark scrambling to survive a threat he never saw coming. Nick Newman reaches his breaking point. Nick has always been the Newman who tries to do the right thing, even when it costs him. But lately, that restraint has been wearing thin. Between family betrayals, corporate landmines, and Matt Clark's increasingly bold maneuvers, Nick has realized that playing fair is no longer an option. Sources close to the storyline reveal that Nick uncovers damning evidence tying Matt Clark to a covert deal that could implode Newman Enterprises if exposed. And instead of handing it over to Victor or letting legal channels drag things out, Nick takes matters into his own hands. This isn't impulsive. It's strategic. Nick invites Matt to a private meeting under the guise of negotiation. No witnesses. No paper trail. Just two men in a room where the truth, finally, gets weaponized. Matt Clark's confidence shatters. Matt Clark has spent months operating like he's untouchable, with connections in unexpected places and dirt on powerful players. He believed he had Genoa City exactly where he wanted it. That illusion evaporates the moment Nick lays his cards on the table. Nick doesn't yell. He doesn't threaten. He lets the evidence speak for itself. Financial transfers, a falsified contract, a hidden shell company that links Matt directly to a betrayal involving Newman assets. Matt tries to deflect at first. He laughs it off, accuses Nick of bluffing, and even attempts to flip the conversation by hinting at secrets Nick wouldn't want exposed. But Nick is ready. Nick reveals that he's already shared copies of the evidence with a third party, someone Matt cannot intimidate or buy off. And unless Matt cooperates immediately, everything goes public. For the first time, Matt Clark looks afraid. Nick's ultimatum: play along or lose everything. Nick doesn't want money. He doesn't want revenge. He wants control. His ultimatum is simple but brutal. Matt must reverse his recent moves, walk away from a pending deal that threatens the Newmans, and publicly take responsibility for a miscalculation that clears Nick's name in the process. If Matt refuses, the evidence goes to the authorities. The press gets tipped off, and Victor Newman finds out exactly how deep Matt's betrayal runs. Nick makes it clear this isn't a negotiation. It's a countdown. Victor Newman senses a storm brewing. Even though Nick keeps Victor in the dark for now, the mustache senses something is off. Victor notices the sudden shift in Matt's behavior, the unexplained delays, and the way Nick starts moving through Newman Enterprises with renewed confidence. Victor doesn't like surprises, and he definitely doesn't like not being the one pulling the strings. As Victor begins quietly investigating, it raises a dangerous question. What happens when Victor discovers Nick has been running his own covert operation? Will Victor admire Nick's ruthlessness or see it as a threat? Sharon worries Nick is crossing a line. While Nick tightens the screws, Sharon notices the change in him immediately. His patience is gone. His eyes are sharper, and the weight he's carrying is heavier than ever. Sharon confronts Nick, warning him that obsession has a cost. She reminds him that once you start using secrets as weapons, there's no clean way out. Nick listens, but he doesn't back down. He tells Sharon something chilling. If I don't stop Matt now, he'll destroy everything we've built. I won't let that happen. Sharon fears Nick is becoming the very thing he's fighting, and she may not be wrong. Matt Clark considers a desperate counterstrike. Cornered and panicking, Matt begins plotting his own escape route. He reaches out to unexpected allies, digs through old files, and searches for leverage that could neutralize Nick's advantage. But time is running out. Every move Matt makes risks exposing him further, and one wrong step could alert Victor, turning this private war into a full-scale Newman annihilation. Behind closed doors, Matt considers the unthinkable, taking Nick down with him. A dangerous game with no winners. What makes this storyline explode is the emotional complexity behind it. Nick isn't acting out of ego, he's acting out of desperation. Matt isn't evil for sport, he's a survivor who pushed too far. And Genoa City? It's the battlefield where collateral damage is inevitable. If Nick wins, he secures his family's future, but loses a piece of himself. If Matt fights back, he risks exposure, but may drag the Newmans down in flames. Either way, someone is going to fall. What happens next? As the pressure mounts, spoilers hint that Matt Clark's next move will be reckless and potentially violent. Meanwhile, Victor edges closer to uncovering the truth. Sharon struggles to pull Nick back from the brink, and Newman Enterprises teeters on the edge of scandal. One thing is certain. Nick Newman has crossed a line, and there's no turning back now. Today's shocking developments prove that when Nick turns up the pressure, even the most dangerous players in Genoa City aren't safe. And if Matt Clark blinks first, the fallout will be felt for months drops to come. A worrying update on Connor Newman, and his future suddenly feels uncertain. The Young and the Restless dropped a surprising update about Connor. Chelsea and Adam told Victor that he's dealt with some minor setbacks at school. However, they feel confident that he'll get back on track. What happened to Connor Newman? Connor, Judah Mackey, who explained Connor's OCD, was diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder. He has been through a lot over the years, and was also diagnosed with trauma. Recently, Connor's parents, Chelsea, Melissa Claire Egan, and Adam, Mark Grossman, noticed that Connor made progress in his therapy, only to discover that he was faced with another setback. Connor struggled with intrusive thoughts, such as telling himself that he doesn't deserve happiness. During that difficult time, Chelsea and Adam locked lips and took their relationship to the next level, ultimately ending their respective relationships with Billy, Jason Thompson, and Sally, Courtney Love. They moved in together at the old Newman Ranch with Connor, but he was sent off to school, where he's working with a new doctor. Chelsea and Adam's shocking update. Prior to Billy and Sally's launch party, Chelsea and Adam showed up at the Newman Ranch. They gave Victor, Eric Braden, an update on Connor. He dropped out of his school's party at the last minute. So, they're going to leave Genoa City briefly to go see him. Chelsea and Adam didn't share any details about whether they were spending Christmas there with Connor, nor did they say whether Connor was returning home for Christmas. They also didn't explain how long their stay would be. They only suggested that he has dealt with some minor setbacks lately, especially since he has been working with a new doctor. What's next for Connor? This development could set up Connor's storyline for 2026. He might return to Genoa City since he's struggling to work with his doctor. Adam and Chelsea might discover that Connor dislikes his doctor or his school. They could be headed for a separation. Once the word gets out, Connor could struggle with another setback. YNR drops a worrying update on Connor Newman. His future suddenly feels uncertain. Genoa City just shook to its core. Fans of The Young and the Restless were stunned today when a bombshell update dropped about Connor Newman, the beloved son of Chelsea and Adam. What started as a hopeful new chapter in Connor's life has suddenly taken a turn, leaving fans anxious and deeply emotional about what lies ahead for this young Newman. So pub, this isn't just a small plot twist. Soap drama is rising to a boiling point, and Connor, already at the center of one of YNR's most sensitive and powerful storylines, is once again facing uncertainty that could shake the core of the Newman family for years to come. What just happened? Connor's update explained. In the latest episodes aired today, Chelsea and Adam delivered a surprising update about their son Connor to Victor Newman, and it wasn't the reassuring kind fans hoped for. So pub, here's what we know so far. Connor has experienced setbacks at school. So pub, he backed out of attending a school party at the last minute, raising concerns about his social well-being. So pub, Chelsea and Adam shared that he's also been struggling with progress under a new doctor. So pub, the couple immediately decided to travel to be with him, and it's unclear how long they'll be gone or whether Connor will return to Genoa City for Christmas. So pub, that's a major development for a character whose journey has been anything but simple. But before we dive into the fallout, let's rewind and explore how we got here. Connor Newman's emotional journey, a deep background. Connor Newman, played with depth and vulnerability by Judah Mackey, has been one of YNR's most complex and emotional storylines in recent years. So pub, mental health and reality, TV impact. From the start, Connor's story has resonated deeply with fans because it tackles real-world challenges. Diagnosed with obsessive-compulsive disorder, OCD, and struggling with trauma responses, Connor's life has been far more layered than the typical soap child arc. So pub, let's be clear. Portraying mental health issues in a daytime drama isn't easy, but YNR has left most viewers moved by Connor's journey, not just invested in it. Connor isn't just a Newman heir. He's a young boy fighting daily internal obstacles that many in the audience understand all too well. Over time, Chelsea and Adam have become fiercely protective parents, supporting Connor through therapy, disruptions in his stability, and dramatic family upheavals. So pub, the latest setbacks, what they could mean. Fans at first thought Connor was finally finding his footing after his earlier struggles. But this recent news proves that recovery doesn't happen in a straight line. Here's why today's update is so concerning. 1. A change in doctor equals emotional turmoil. Connor was already adjusting to new routines and therapies. Now, the news that his new doctor might not be the right fit casts everything into doubt. This isn't just a scheduling issue. Changing trusted caregivers can destabilize progress for someone with OCD or trauma history. especially in adolescence. So pub. 2. School life isn't going well. Backing out of social events isn't a simple teen mood swing. For someone working on mental health resilience, it can be a significant regression. Social engagement is a key part of progress, so this moment should alarm viewers. So pub. 3. Christmas in limbo. Every YNR fan knows how powerful holiday episodes can be. They're emotional, dramatic, and family-centered. The fact that Chelsea and Adam didn't confirm Connor's return to Genoa City for Christmas is no small detail. It suggests more than a short visit. It hints at a potentially extended absence and deep family tension. So pub. Fan reactions, emotional and divided. Search social media and fan forums today, and you'll see a flood of strong reactions. Why is Connor still struggling? Many fans are concerned the storyline is regressing instead of progressing. They're sending him away again. Some viewers are frustrated that Connor might be isolated from his support system, even if it's for therapy. This feels like a test for Chelsea and Adam's relationship. Connor's setbacks are already bleeding into his parents' drama, turning a family story into a potential relationship crisis. Others are simply heartbroken for the character. Mental health progress isn't linear, but I didn't expect this. Poor Connor. YNR fan reaction. This is the kind of emotional heat that keeps YNR trending. And that's exactly why today's news will have ripple effects well into 2026. What could this storyline lead to? Given the layered nature of YNR's writing and the importance of Connor in recent arcs, today's development cannot be shrugged off. Here are the most likely directions this could go. 1. Connor's long-term absence from Genoa City. If Connor's struggles are serious enough, Chelsea and Adam may choose to stay with him where he can get consistent care. That means major Newman family drama at home. Fewer appearances from Connor on screen. More focus on Chelsea and Adam's emotional journey. Long-term absences can be tricky. The show must balance respect for the character's issues while keeping him relevant. 2. Chelsea and Adam's relationship is tested. According to previews, Chelsea will give Adam an ultimatum after tensions spike from his hit piece on Jack. So pub. Connor's situation may increase stress on their marriage, force them to reevaluate priorities, create divided allegiances in Genoa City. Some fans think this could even lead to a separation storyline, and while soaps love relationships in crisis, this one would be deeply personal and emotional. 3. Pressure on Newman family unity. Connor's setbacks could act as the catalyst for larger family conflict. Victor might step in, likely with heavy-handed control of the situation. Sibling dynamics could surface tensions. Nick, Christian, and others. Viewers could see a clash of parenting styles and generational values. When Newmans disagree, everything explodes, and with Connor at the center, that explosion would be personal, not just corporate. 4. A return to Genoa City, but not the same Connor. Should Connor come back, it might not be as the same hopeful, progressing version we saw before. More nuanced depiction of mental health struggles. New conflicts with peers or school. Greater impact of Adam and Chelsea's decisions. This could make Connor one of YNR's most compelling and heartfelt story arcs in years, if handled with care. Why this matters beyond soap opera drama. Daytime soaps aren't just about exaggerated rivalry or over-the-top schemes. They reflect lives. Connor's journey has resonated because so many people see themselves or their loved ones in his struggle. Mental health storylines can spark real conversations, reduce stigma, connect with viewers emotionally, elevate the genre beyond cliffhangers. Connor isn't just another character. He's a young person with real challenges viewers relate to. What fans are predicting next? Here's a snapshot of online fan theories from today. Connor might push his parents back together. Some believe Connor's emotional needs could make Adam and Chelsea realize their greater purpose is family cohesion. Soap opera spy. Connor could reject the new doctor entirely.